problem which we were facing was over here. That is, after this, I had written something that is um record.clear. So because of that only we were getting that problem. Okay. The problem was entire list was empty. The entire dictionary was empty. So I will run it once again. And these are the three records. So now we will, was it the same one or we were doing something else? I think it was, just a sec. It was related to books, right?
Yes, ma'am.
1 second, let me open that book. This one. So the problem was over here, that is in update book. After this, we had written a statement like this: book info dot clear. So because we had written the statement, now we know that dictionary is what? It is a mutable object. That is, if we have something like this, like we have a dictionary object. So dictionary is a mutable object, and what we are doing is we are adding it to a list, right? Actually, in the memory, how does list work? It just contains pointers. So this pointer would be pointing to this dictionary whenever I write students dot append and book info. When I write it like that, it means that this dictionary has to be appended to the list. And when I say appended to the list, this is the logical view, whereas this is the actual view. Actually, in the memory, a pointer within the list, it points to the dictionary. And when we were writing book info dot clear, so this was deleting everything from the dictionary, and hence this area was pointing to a blank location, because of which book NO was not identified. This was the error which was there. So I removed that statement and got the answer. Okay, so we got this. So it was now pointing to the exact location. So now let us just see, just let's just run it and see. So we will display all the books. So we have 6 books, and we'll try changing something, that is book number B102. So 4B102, that is this book title, Eyewitness. So I'm going to just change this to fiction. Okay, so I'm going to change the genre as fiction. I'm going to change the price as 300, that is 3 price to be 300, and back, and let's just check it once again. So yes, it has been changed to fiction, and the price has also been updated. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
This was the problem which we were facing, right? So now our next topic is delete book. So we will complete that, and we will today take up one more topic, the last topic, that is exclusive CSV files, how we can work on CSV files. So we have already worked with CSV files earlier, but now we will be working with the CSV module, which is basically used only for CSV files. So our last topic is delete. Okay, so we have to delete the book. Everything will be the same, only few things will change. So we will be deleting the book, and book NO we will ask for. Now we can consider copying some of the parts from here. So we will copy this. So I'll copy this entire thing, and we will just make changes in it. So file.seek 0, we will seek the file pointer to the beginning. Then book info equals dictionary, book list, populate the book list, everything, find the matched record. Now we don't need to save the matched record, so we are going to delete this. Saving the matched record is not needed. We will only be saving the record number, because we don't have to, we will be will not be or we can say that the list in which we have read all the records, we are just going to remove this record number. We are going to remove the record with this record number. That is, we will remove the list item with this index number. So we will remove this. Then print, instead of mrec, we will simply print record, book to be deleted. Now update the match record. We don't need this at all. So we are just going to remove all this. Okay, now all we need is dump the book list to the file, the book list which contains the updated record. So over here, only if mrec.no, if it contains valid data, okay, that is if the record is found, only then we need to do all this. Otherwise we don't need to do anything. So what I'm going to do is, so you can see over here, if mrec.no, if it contains a valid record, that is if mrec.no contains valid record, that is if a match is found, okay, then only dump the book list. So before dumping the book list, we have to modify our list. Remove the matched record from book list. So book list mrec.no, so we can use the del function for doing that. Del book list mrec.no. So remove the list item which has mrec.no as the index. That was the matched index of the record which is to be deleted. So remove that item from book list. So now our book list contains all the records except the matched records. And finally dump the book list to the file. So this we will have to do as we have been doing. And else record doesn't exist. That is, if mrec.no contains none, it means record doesn't exist, and hence we don't need to do anything in the file. So let us run the program, but before running the program, we have to call the function, that is delete book. So I will copy this down, come back here, just pass this, and it will be book ID, and copy this information from here and enter the book number for the book you want to delete. F5. Let us try deleting book 104. So 5B104. So this is the book, and let us just see whether book, okay, B104 is still there. Is it, has it removed any other content? 03, 104, no, all of them are there. The book exactly is, it's not deleted. Let's see what went wrong. Just a sec. So we'll go back to deletion, delete book. Okay. We found the matched record. We also deleted it. Okay. Deleted successfully. It should give me this message. File.flush. Okay. Try again. So we will be deleting book 104, 5. Book to be deleted is this. Okay. First it's giving me record doesn't exist. Okay, I might have done some mistake over here. Let me check. Okay, everything is within this if block. So I have to, this for block. So I have to remove it from there. Going to take a while. Problem is in the indentation. You can see that, or was considering everything to be a part of the for loop. That's why we were not getting the answer. So So that's it. It was actually indented, an extra indentation was given. So it was considering itself to be a part of for loop. Okay, so we are going to check it once again. All books are there. 5P104 and record deleted successfully. And yes, it is removed from the file. Okay, so this is how we can delete our records from the file. And last, it's going to be 6, that is exit. So let's take a look at this whole program from the beginning. We have insert book, we have display all records, we have searching for a record, updating record, and within update we have first populated the book list with file content, then we found the matched record and its index also. Now we updated the matched record, replaced the matched record within book list with the new record, and finally dump the updated book list back to the file. Okay, same way for deletion also we use that same technique. Only thing, we didn't give the user any menu to update anything. Only thing, the book information or the record to be deleted was removed from the list, and this updated list was dumped to the file. And all we did using what? Append plus read mode. Without doing anything. And what we can do is at the end, when user comes out of the loop, you can, when user presses the button for exit, file dot close. Okay, so at the end you can close the file. So you can see that here we are opening the file once, performing all operations, and we are closing the file at the end. Okay, I hope did you all understand this program, everyone? It was
Yes,
like a mini project which you can use in your projects also. You can incorporate it, although in your projects SQL connectivity is mandatory. Okay, so I hope you all are already working on your projects. So keep working on your projects, and very soon we will be moving on to checking and evaluating all the projects and finding out the errors in that. So with this we end binary files, and today we are going to revisit CSV files again.
ma'am, can you send all the programs which we have made?
Yes, I'll send all the programs. I'll make a zip file and I'll send all those programs. Okay. Next is CSV files. So you can write it down in your copy. Now CSV file stands for comma separated value files. It is also going to be a very important tool regarding your project, because CSV files are very easy to work with. There are certain advantages of CSV files, so that we are going to see. They are easy to parse. They are compatible with most application programs. easy to export as well as import to and from spreadsheet applications or database applications. Okay, so you can easily export it to spreadsheets or databases as well as import data from spreadsheets and databases. Okay, so you can we'll use it along with databases later on, but today we will see it with spreadsheets. Okay, and they are easy to understand and can be manually edited. So you can edit them manually. You can easily open it in a spreadsheet and you can insert or delete records. Okay, values are separated by a comma. For example, if you have a record, so it would be something like this. Like, for example, if I consider a product list, okay, or an employee data. So E101. So I'm just writing it in the form it would appear in Notepad. So E101, then you'll have the name of the person. Okay, and there a new line character will be there at the end. So this is how it works. So all values you can see they are separated by a comma and hence it makes it very easy to understand. I am going to open one file which I had created earlier. So I'm going to show that to you. You can see this product list over here. So this product list, you can see it has taken the icon of Excel sheet, and if I double click on it, it will open in Excel, unlike the other files. So here all these values are actually what comma separated values. Okay, so there are 4 columns. The first one contains item ID, second one contains item name, then we have the category, and then we have the price. And if you are trying to open it, like right click, open with Notepad, you'll be able to see that all values are separated by a comma. Okay, and all records have a new line character at the end, which is added automatically by the function which we will be using for writing the values to the file. Okay, so this is how this is how CSV files work. So first we will be starting with a read operation. So firstly, I am going to, can you all take a screenshot of it? Just take a screenshot and save it and we'll move on to the next one. I hope you have taken a screenshot. Now, for this, we need to use a statement that is import CSV, which is the CSV module. So we will be first doing what? Read operation. Read from a CSV file, and second, write to a CSV file. So we will be performing the read operation first and then we will be moving on to writing. So the first one, that is read from a CSV file. How do we do this? So reading from the CSV file is very easy. We will use for this, we need to create a CSV reader object. Now, what is this CSV reader object? Students, you know that your file is there on your hard disk. Okay, so this is the hard disk and this hard disk contains the CSV file. What does the reader object do? It creates a list which is not completely a list, it's a partial list. It will give you some properties of a list. So this is a CSV reader object. And this reader object contains everything in the form of a list of lists. List of lists. So this is a list of lists. Okay. And then this will be used by your Python program. You can extract records from this CSV reader just like you extract records from a list. Okay, so you can simply use statement like, 1 second students. For record in reader object, okay, print record. So you can print the record, you can add it to a pretty table, you can print it properly. So all operations whichever you want to perform, you can do it easily in Python. Okay, so this is how we will be doing it. And similarly for writing to a file also, you create your Python program. It creates a CSV writer object. CSV writer object. Okay, and within this object also everything would be written in the form of a list of lists. And then this would be sent to your disk file. So CSV reader object and CSV writer object, these two are used to perform read as well as write operations on a CSV file. Okay, so we are going to do this first. So I'm going to open a new file and I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it with the name product CSV file demo.py. So we have saved this name and now we are first going to import CSV in the file. Okay, now open a file object. And for this, I have chosen the same product file which I had created, that is product list. So we will start with this files product list dot CSV, comma, we will open it using the read mode. Now CSV file is not a binary file, okay? So all the modes up which are applicable on text files will be applicable on CSV files also. Okay, so this we will write and we are going to create a CSV reader object first. So let us name the reader object as product reader. Okay, equals CSV dot reader and I'll give the value file. So let us understand this statement first of all. So here we are, product reader. So this product reader is what? It is the CSV reader object. Okay, this is the CSV reader object which we are going to create and it is a user defined name. It's a user defined identifier, so you can decide what name you want to give it to it. So I've used reader because it will enable me to understand that yes, I'm going to read product information in this. CSV, name of your module, and reader is a function which creates the reader object. Function to create a reader object. And this is your file handle. Please write this down in your copy, students. Just tell me if you have written it. Okay, one more information, students. In your half-yearly exams, which are due to be conducted by the end of September, it will be of 40 marks. Half-yearly will be of 40 marks. And it will be all MCQ. Please note it. It will be all MCQ. Chapter wise mark distribution I will send within a few days. Okay. So please start preparing accordingly. Your concept should be clear. Wherever you go, now there is no need of rote learning anywhere. All you need is your concept should be clear, right? So please prepare it accordingly.
Ma'am, syllabus.
Syllabus, I'll tell you. Syllabus is going to be all what we have covered so far, right? That is starting from what was the first? We had data structures. Now, chapter numbers could be different. So that's why I'm going to specify it like this. Chapter 1 and 2. I'll send you the detailed syllabus because I have to remove the portions, the cut portions also. So I'll just tell you a rough sketch right now. Data structures 1 and 2. Then we had done, I think,
SQL, ma'am.
SQL,
Ma'am,
yes.
function.
More on SQL. Then Python connectivity, Python interface with MySQL.
Ma'am, functions.
Functions, yes, we had done functions and we have done file handling also in great detail. Anything else which is left right now? And yes, of course, Python revision tour is there. Python revision tour. Both first and second part, and MySQL revision tour is also there. SQL revision, that is I think only one chapter. So all these chapters which we have covered so far, all of them would be coming in your half yearly exam, and in between I'm going to give you a lot many other tests also. There was a mock test which I had taken some time ago. I have sent you the results. Have you checked your mails?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
more tests we are going to have, and this time all tests will be all MCQ. So the moment you give your test, you will be able to see the results instantly. Okay, fine. So I hope you all have written this. Now we'll come back to our file and we will start doing our work. So this CSV reader, what it does is it reads all the records from the file. It will read all records from the CSV file, and that would be contained within this reader object in the form of a list of lists, right? So the moment you do this, the moment this statement is executed, not only a reader object is created, but all content of the CSV file are also used to populate the reader object. That is, they are also filled within the reader object. Now, what you need to do is just read the records from the file. For record in prod reader, print record. And finally, file dot close. Let's do this and see. So you can see that it's that simple. Okay, and you don't need to do anything else. Simply read the create the open the file, create the reader object, CSV reader object, and extract records individually from the file. Okay, and finally close the file. So we can do all this. So This is one way of reading. There is another way which we are going to see today, and that is, instead of, we can even shrink this program further by using with open as command. Okay, so with open files, it's better I'll type it because I have a text facility over here, so I can type this. So I'll write here with open files product list dot csv comma read as file. So this means when I do this, it would mean with is a keyword, as is a keyword. Okay, file is your file object or file handle, which points to your file object. This open function is used to open the file in a specific mode and attach it or associate it with the handle. Okay, so the advantage of using this is it not only opens the file, but at the end, after you have performed all the statements, after all the statements have been executed, it automatically closes the file. Automatically closes the file. Please write this down. This is also an important, you can use it with binary files and text files also. So it will automatically close the file. You don't have to explicitly write file dot close. I will take the attendance in the meantime. Yes, please write this down quickly. And then we will shrink the program even further. Okay, come back. So now over here, we are just going to replace this. How? With open files product list dot csv comma r as file and prod reader equals csv dot reader file, and we can write for record in prod reader print record. Fine. Simply run it and you can see it runs the same as before. You don't have to explicitly type file dot close because this at the end of the with block it automatically closes the file. So this is how we can perform read operations in the file. What about performing write operations in the file? So let's do that now. For performing write operations in the file, we use the CSV writer object. CSV writer object is used for this purpose. How do we create the CSV writer object? We just provide an identifier. For example, I just write here prod writer equals CSV dot writer file comma delimiter equals comma. So the meaning of this statement is create a writer object. Now this prod writer is what? It is also a user defined identifier which we have given to the writer object. CSV, it is the name of the module. Writer is the function which is used. Okay. File is your file handle. And delimiter object, that is your comma. So delimiter says that every item should be separated by a comma value. Okay. Every item, that is how it will understand, because we would be writing everything using an object known as, we'll write prod writer dot write row. So we would be using the write row function to write the record. And the record is usually in which form? It is in a list form, separated by comma in between. So in a list, you might have seen that this is an item, this is an item, this is an item, and in between, what do you have? You have comma. So it is telling the writer object to use this comma as a delimiter, that is, use the comma to form comma separated values. So when these values are saved in the file, they would be saved in this fashion, and at the end automatically a new line character would be added. Okay. And for this you also need to do one more thing, that is, now I'll be teaching you how we can perform write operations. So let us do that. We first start with opening a file. Files, product list dot CSV, comma, we will be opening it in the write mode, or we will be opening it in the append mode, because we don't want anything to be gone. Now here I am using another. Okay, I'll not use this right now. First I'll show you what happens with this. As file. Now after doing this, we have to create a writer object. So prod writer equals file dot, sorry, CSV dot writer file comma delimiter equals comma. Okay, so we have done this, and now we are going to write the content into the file. So how to do that? So firstly, we need to ask for values from the user. What do we have? We have item ID. First ask it, enter the item ID. Then item name, enter the item name. Then we have category. Enter the category of item and price. So for price, I'm taking eval. Enter the price of item. Fine. So all the values we have written. Now what we need to do is, the width is not a loop actually. Okay, so we need to write all these items within a loop. So we will use a while loop over here. So just the usual drill which we do, while ans equals to y, that till the user wants. We will be asking for these values from the user. Now we will be writing it to the file prod writer dot write row. So we will use this write row function, and we will write a row, and for that I'm going to create a record list which will be like this. And we will be writing this to the file in the form of record. So we have written it, and we will ask from the user whether user wants to continue or not. Continue, yes or no. And till the time the user wants, it has to continue writing, and finally at the end all the data would be written to the file. Now within the same file, now first we will run this program, and then we'll check the output later on. So we will be entering I8, and give me some names. We can take up, say, apples and fruits and price of item maybe 45, 9, maybe let us check the file whether the record has been added or not. So we'll go back. This is product list. Yes, so you can see that apples and tomatoes has been added, but in between you can see an empty blank line. If you run the program once again, now for running the program, listen one thing again. If I run the program while the file is opened, it will give me permission denied. So that means I have to first close the file and then only I'll be able to run the file. So now I'm running the file and maybe I can enter I10 and name of the item, let me give it as okay, and let's check the file once again. So now you can see that a blank line is being added every time. And this blank line is over here after Suji also, right? So what do we need to do is for removing this blank line, I'm going to delete those blank lines right now and we are going to add some more records to the file, but after making some changes. So that change would be, I'm going to type here new line equals empty character. That is, I don't want a new line. By default, the new line value is this. Carriage return and new line. It will press carriage return is going to take up enter and /n is going to insert a new line in between. Okay. It's like this. One record is already written here. Okay. So carriage return first of all changes the line and brings it here. And new line character, that is /n, it enters another line, that is it moves on to the next line, and this line is completely left blank because this is /r/n. This is the default value for new line. Hence we are going to set the new line argument as empty string. That is, don't give anything in between, right? So we are going to add this empty string over here, and now we are going to run the program. So I11, and let me give the name as now let's check the file. Now you can see that there are no extra new line characters added. All the values are added in the usual fashion without leaving any gap in between. So this can be used as a very useful tool if you want to generate your Excel files from your Python programs. Have you all understood reading and writing operation, everyone? Is reading and writing to and from a CSV file, is it clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm giving you a question. Please write it. Do it just now and show me. Write a Python program ask for to store book information in a CSV file named bookstore.csv. Okay. So you have to store book information in this and also write a program. Right now, you will be writing two separate programs to read book information stored in a CSV file named bookstore.csv. Okay, what should the book contain? Each book record should contain the following info. Number 1, book ID. Number 2, book title. Number 3, genre. Number 4, author. And number 5, price. Okay. So each book record should contain the following. You can decide upon what should be the data type of each of the fields. So at least right now, do the first one. So, okay, period is over. We are going to, what you will do is note down the question right now and do it quickly and send me on WhatsApp, right? Can I paste it here? Let me see. Paste it there. Okay, I'm sending it to you, right? So I'm stopping the share and I'm stopping the recording. Thank you, everyone.